YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Also, don't forget to check out the Samurai Gamers AV content, which have all of the latest news for all of the servers of Arena of Valor, which includes the updates, the hero guides, and also the incoming patch for Arena of Valor.
Okay, and now we can see for the match, it's between ShallowDead versus Static Gamers, and for the picks and bans, again, we could see that ShallowDead has opted to go again for the Superman ban. Meanwhile, Static Gamers opted to go for a Zenial ban.
Yeah, very similar to the bans earlier between Dominus Knights and ESF Mayhem.
Yeah, that's interesting. Again, it's really a sad state for those who are fans of Superman, since given that his kit is a very strong, very strong abilities. It's always going to be, he's always going to be banned for the most part in this tournament so far.
Yeah, especially if you guys already checked the Samurai Gamers hero tires list, Superman's already alone there in the upper echelon of the heroes with the highest tire.
That's true. And now we can see for the most part, again, ShallowDead opting to go for a Zephys, the Joker, and Alice team comp so far. Meanwhile, you can see that Static Gamers pulling out all the stops and essentially debuting again with a new hero for Max, as well as Amina in this game. That said, Ursas, what do you think would be Max's impact for this match?
Yes, Max brings another dynamic to the game, allowing a global ult, as well as his passive. He has a very unique passive, allowing him to have additional movement speed and also burn damage to his competition.
Indeed, and you can see for the most part, again, ShallowDead filling in the gap so far of their team, completing their team lineup with a Tulin as well as a Malok. Meanwhile, let's see how Static Gamers would riposte this team composition from ShallowDead.
Yes, so right now we're still waiting if the side of the Static Gamers are going to pick. Yes, they will actually pick a mage with the L'Oreal.
Interesting interesting team right now. And for the most part, Ursats, you can see that for ShallowDead, they're opting to go a more traditional kind of team composition with the Joker, with the Marksman essentially for their team. Meanwhile, Static Gamers opting for a very the more widespread or prevalent team composition we've been seeing in Valiant server with a non-marksman lineup.
Yes.
That said, who do you think would have the who do you think has the more which team has the more edge when it comes to their team composition, their team picks?
Checking the Statics Gamers composition, they have a very top-heavy team consisting of Alubu and Ryoma. Also, they also have a Max in disposal, so we don't know who will take the DS lane or the AD lane. Preferably, there might be a Ryoma jungle in play, and also they're planning to trying to protect the L'Oreal until it grows over time and become fed so that it can bring more damage for their team.
Indeed, you are correct, Ursats. And for the most part, again, it's very interesting lineup you could see right now. You could see that I think Ryoma would be would be the jungle against Zephys. I guess when it comes to team strategy right now, at least if I remember correctly, for ShallowDead, their team strategy might be again to employ the roaming Alice.
Yes.
And also doing in tandem with either the Tulin as well as the Zephys doing his patented Zephys things. Meanwhile, for Static Gamers, it's very novel to see how they're going to employ the Max in this current meta for this game. And again, for those who just got here, you can visit all the games, all the updates, daily roundup, and weekly takeaways from Kaisaya's tournament by going to samurai-gamers.com. From there, we can see all the news, analysis, and everything in between from inside Kaisaya's tournament. Again, go to samurai-gamers.com/Arena of Valor Valiant Online Community Tournament.
Yes.
And now, after the 30-second mandatory pause for the game, we're gonna start now with ShallowDead versus Static Gamers.
Yes. I think the composition of ShallowDead, I look forward for having some wombo combo because they have an Alice at their disposal. They have a Malok, a Joker, and also a Zephys.
Indeed, you're correct. And now we can see for the most part, again, a very standard defensive maneuver for the early game in terms of trying to quell the invade by going in like 4 heroes deep inside the Sage Golem brush to avoid possible invades from the other team in terms of what Static Gamers did.
Yes, as you can see here, the middle lane, L'Oreal and Tulin trying to duke it out in the middle, trying to determine who will get the many stacks for him. Apparently, Tulin already have the thunderclaps, and L'Oreal is trying to get away from the range.
Indeed, you are, and it comes. Going back when it comes to the line, the lane composition, lane matchup, so to speak. We could see again, you can see, L'Oreal battling the Tulin in the middle lane. Meanwhile, Lubu trying to do his best against a 2v1 at the Abyssal Dragon lane against the Alice, as well as the Joker. Meanwhile, at the top side, we can see the Max against the Malok. Meanwhile, Ryoma and Mina Ryoma is in the jungle for Static Gamers. Meanwhile, as well as Ryoma is in the jungle while Mina is doing the roundabout things.
Yeah. Apparently, Ryoma is doing like Zephyr's stuff as a jungler, and then as you can see in the middle, L'Oreal trying to prevent a possible gank from the side of the ShallowDead.
Indeed, you are correct. And that said, when it comes to roaming, who do you think Ursats has the more mobile lineup when it comes to essentially getting the team fights or getting the ganks?
Unless Alice was able to use consecutively her skills, she will be able to roam around quicker through the map. And also, apparently, Max also has a built-in advantage when it comes to movement speed if he also lands his abilities towards the enemies.
And that said, we could see again that First Blood Honors goes to Static Gamers with a snipe down essentially of the Alice, who got a little out of position in the middle brush there, and with Ryoma getting the first skill honors.
Yes, apparently in the DS lane, Malok and Max duking it out, trying to determine who have control of the DS lane, while on the AD lane, apparently Joker has a difficult time competing against Lubu because Lubu actually have a lifestyle role component, making him a very high potent one-on-one hero in the game.
Indeed, you're correct, Ursats, and it's very novel to see that for the most part, for Static Gamers, the Ryoma has indeed made his presence felt at the early stage of the game, having a gank, a successful gank, as well as securing the Abyssal Dragon for their team at the early stage of the game. Meanwhile, we have yet to see the impact of the Zephyr's player, and again, as I say it, Zeph is unfortunately falling down off screen against the Ryoma, but not before getting the Max for his team.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Alice is having difficulties on which to prioritize when it comes to her roaming because Joker is having difficulties to push his lane, and apparently Lubu is trying to prevent it. As well, in the northern side, as you can see here, Mina trying to provide some tanking support for Max, as well as providing support for Ryoma.
It's very interesting to note also, Ursats, that for the most part, the Alice is not doing the more comprehensive stuff. Wow. But again, you can see how the Max from way downtown, getting the kill for his team, doing that ultimate that he does, which is so strong in this meta right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Max also allows his teammates to see which particular enemy hero he will target, and this creates an opening for other of his teammates to provide assists.
But again, I had to cut you off there. There's a clash that's happening in the middle lane again with Ryoma doing another damage, getting the drop on the Malok, on the Zephyrus. Meanwhile, L'Oreal again also getting another kill for Static Gamers. But again, after that clash, it was a 3-4-1 affair in favor for Static Gamers.
Yeah, I guess the ShallowDead team should need to be familiar with L'Oreal's ultimate. They don't need to stay within the range of her ultimate, since it would have a time-ticking bomb after a few seconds.
Indeed, you're correct. And for the most part, we have to commend the Ryoma player for his excellent placement, excellent positioning for this match, considering that it's very... he's actually showing the dominance in the jungle when it comes to roaming and helping his team out. But again, L'Oreal getting a kill for her team again. Meanwhile, Malok still returning the favor for ShallowDead. Action too quick to call, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, damn.
A very intense battle across all of the maps.
Indeed. Again, that's indicative of how the Valiant server is, for the most part, all action all the time. Here, compared to the other regions, at least when it comes to aggression, when it comes to the team picks, when it comes to essentially the plays, essentially.
Apparently, the composition on the side of Static Gamer is very similar to what previous Taiwan teams are using in their own tournament. I guess they're trying to do their homework, trying to explore more strategies and builds for the team.
Again, yeah, you're correct there. Or that's it for the most part. After actually 5 minutes 30 seconds of action, we can see that Static Gamers with the commanding lead in terms of the team kills, 11-3, and for a gold advantage, they're up by just a little bit, a little like 4,000 gold, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the story of the game so far is that Ryoma, very very strong, very excellent and efficient ganks altogether. And again, look at when you can see Ryoma doing the damage, killing the Tulin, as well as the Malak falling down in the middle lane again for Static Gamers. Essentially, he's essentially doing what Zephys was supposed to do in terms of providing lane pressure and gank pressure in for this matchup.
Yeah, Ryoma is really their current vanguard for the Static Gamers team, while there's L'Oreal trying to provide support damage for AP damage. And then Ruble trying to do his job very stable, trying to bring down the lower ground on the side of the ShallowDead team.
Indeed, you're correct, Ersas. And that said, when it comes to ShallowDead, what do you think, what do you feel should their strategy be when it comes to trying to quell this essentially snowballing composition of Static Gamers?
Yeah, I guess when it comes to team battles, ShallowDead has a difficulty winning that particular side. Maybe try to trickle down each enemy hero one by one, and then try to get some gold while the opposing team is on cooldown.
Indeed. And that remains to be seen, Ursas. And right now you can see again Static Gamers getting another, securing another Abyssal Dragon for their commanding gold lead right now, as well as experience. And in terms of the lane advantage, you can see that Static Gamers also getting the first towers on the Dark Slayer lane as well as the Abyssal Dragon lane.
And again, they're trying to already notice the Lubo trying to slowly, one by one, trying to bring down the tower, trying to push the creeps.
And again, you can see off screen Mina getting the kill or getting the drop on the Joker there, who was essentially out of place, trying to essentially, I think he was
even Zephys.
Yeah, even I think he's trying to determine that it was maybe a one-on-one affair. But again, Static Gamers quick to the punch right there and responding with the Mina providing the kill. Getting the assist, assisting Lubu rather, and getting the kill for his team. And again, you can see again off screen the Malok again getting killed by the Max. Essentially, the Max also providing some highlight-worthy action and gameplay here for this match, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Static Gamers really trying to push the envelope for their team, trying to harass all sides, the DS lane to the AD lane, telling the ShallowDead team that they already have control of this game.
And again, you can see there's another clash that happened earlier, and again, Lubu as well as Ryoma paying dividends for their team, getting their damage done and netting kills for Static Gamers. But again, ShallowDead trying to rally back, forcing the issue. But again, L'Oreal still has her ultimate, the wheel, turning, and essentially mowing down, running over ShallowDead right now. And you can see Static Gamers still now storming the middle towers for against the ShallowDead's team base.
Again, the Laura was very, very essential for this particular kill. She was able to lead down the ShallowDead team to the range of ultimate and already finished them off.
Indeed, you're correct. And now you can see Static Gamers going for the juggler right now. Zephys trying to do some late game heroics, and to the most part, it was effective. ShallowDead trying their best and succeeding essentially in defending what could have been their last stand for this matchup. That said, given that they have this, they have a lucky break there, Ursats, what do you think should ShallowDead do to continue this momentum of theirs, at least to maintain the momentum rather?
I guess in the particular time they need to at least kill the Dark Slayer from the top, trying to have a damage spike, trying to change the tide of the game.
Indeed, you're correct. And right now we could see it's very, in terms of the items, Ryoma is the story of the game so far, going for 8-1-5 in terms of KDA for a very strong showing in this matchup. And now you can see that Static Gamers trying essentially having map control at the moment, and trying now to secure Dark Slayer for their team rather.
Yes, unfortunately, if you can see when it comes to the item picks on the ShallowDead team, unfortunately, they may be in the panic mode trying to pick any items. They're not actually building their own items.
Indeed, you're correct. And now you can see the L'Oreal trying his best to shut down and snipe down Tulin. Snipe down she does. And now again, L'Oreal with a double kill for Static Gamers. And right now, with the Dark Slayer buff on their side, it's very tall order, I guess you could say, for ShallowDead to defend this their base in the moment.
Yes, right now, Barrels is being picked down. So again, static gamers need to protect the L'Oreal.
Indeed, and as you said earlier, Lubu being the consistent factor at
Yes.
the at the Abyssal Dragon lane, managing to destroy the second tower at the lane, and now again chopping down possibly the bottom tower, high ground bottom tower, you could say. And now again, there's a clash for static gamers, and again Ryoma still paying dividends, paying the dues, getting the damage, getting the kills for static gamers, ladies and gentlemen. And right now we can see the Tulin is all by his lonesome, trying his best to defend, and the last stand is probably the last stand again. Onslaught Honors goes for Lubu, and again static gamers with an impressive dominating performance against ShallowDead.
Yes, unfortunately, the Tulin was not able to have that power spike because of his Thunderclap passive, wasn't able to use it effectively, and also for the Malok wasn't able to set up for his team. Alice has some difficulty prioritizing which hero to help on his team.
Indeed, you're correct, Ursats, and for the most part, the very excellent showing right there between for static gamers with no surprise here. Oh, sorry, it's very surprising right now actually. L'Oreal getting the MVP honors for static gamers with an impressive 11, 1, and 10 KDA
Yes,
for
very
a
impressive.
MVP for a